Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GQ Jedi. If you're not already subscribed to me, blast that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. Now today I'm back with another exciting ranking video for you. I've already ranked Luke and Leia, which I'll leave a link in the description down below for those videos. But today we're going to rank the space cowboy himself, Han Solo. 1977 was the year that changed everything with the release of Star Wars in theaters. Its impact on people with its story and characters was felt across the world. One such fictional character was responsible for helping make that cinema history happen while also cementing himself as the guy every woman wanted to be with and the guy every man wanted to be like. Han Solo had swagger and charm and coolness that lit up the screen. It didn't matter if he was piloting the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca, arguing with Princess Leia aboard the Death Star, or gunning Greedo down in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Han Solo was simply the coolest character in the film. It was no shock to anyone that kids would desperately want a Han Solo action figure to play with after seeing Star Wars in theaters. It still amazes me that Kenner didn't choose to include Han in the first lineup for the early bird set since he was so popular of a character. But once he was released on cardback in 1978, he flew off toy shelves instantly. Every kid wanted a Han Solo action figure. It didn't matter whether they had Luke already, they still needed Han. Kenner managed to sculpt a friendly looking version of Han Solo, and he is the figure version I prefer. That's right, Kenner made two head sculpts for the original Han Solo action figure. I guess folks weren't too jazzed about the initial product, so Han was resculpted with a better likeness of Harrison Ford, which in my opinion does look pretty good. Unfortunately, his head is huge, way too big for the rest of the figure's body. Such a bummer too, because the likeness really is a lot better than the small head version. Han is sporting his signature black vest and boots seen in A New Hope. Completing his smuggler scoundrel outfit is his trusty DL-44 blaster, which is known in Kenner circles as the Rebel or Smuggler blaster. It comes in a variety of shades of blue plastic. Han was right-handed in the film, and Kenner took notice because this action figure can only hold a blaster in his right hand, and the left hand is utterly useless. This is the quintessential Star Wars outfit for Han Solo in my opinion. I love this figure's overall appearance with his ready-to-shoot at a moment's notice pose. He looks great no matter where he is in your playtime. But I think he looks the best in the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca, don't you? I have to rank him number one out of all 5 Han Solo figures. He's amazing. Hoth was such an important place in the opening of The Empire Strikes Back. Han Solo was back in action with his pal Luke Skywalker as they desperately fought off frostbite, smelly tauntaun breath, and the might of Darth Vader's Imperial forces. Kenner released Han Solo in Hoth outfit as he was originally labeled in 1980 to usher in the new Hoth toys that were flooding toy stores everywhere. This sculpt and likeness to what we saw in the film is pretty accurate. Han sports a heavy, woolly, hooded blue winter coat and tan boots, which can be molded or painted on, depending on the variant you have. The downside is that this figure tends to get rubs on his boots as well as his white gloves. Hoth Han, as most folks call him, came with the same rubble smuggler blaster like his predecessor, but it's molded in only a blue colored plastic. In addition, Han has a functioning holster on his right hip which can hold his blaster. He is the first figure to have a holster feature for his weapon. You need to be careful with the holster though, as the tiny thin piece of plastic, the little strap, it can break, so just be careful. The action figure is really nice and Han looks awesome riding a tauntaun or shooting down probe droids with Chewie. I have to rank Hoth Han number 4 out of 5. In The Empire Strikes Back, Han visited 2 major planets, Hoth and Bespin, so it was only natural that Kenner also make and release a suitable Bespin Han version as well, which they did. Han Solo Bespin outfit is a fantastic Han Solo figure in my opinion. The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite film though, so I could be biased for that reason. But I do think I'm with the majority of collectors when I say Bespin Han is easily one of the coolest Kenner Han Solo figures made. This 1981 released Han Solo sports tan pants and the blue jacket that he wears on Hoth until he gets frozen in Carbonite. This Han figure looks great in a Kenner Cloud City playset. The weird thing is that Kenner packaged Han with a Bespin blaster instead of his signature DL-44 Rebel blaster, which the previous 2 Hans had. I'm not entirely sure why though. My guess is that Kenner made so many figures for the Empire collection and a lot came with the Bespin blaster, so Han fell into that category by association. I don't really know. But you can easily solve that problem by switching out his guns, but I never do that because I'm accustomed to leaving Kenner the way it is for the most part. Okay, yes, I do give Endor Luke a green saber, but that's an obvious and justifiable choice because it's the only weapon he really uses in Return of the Jedi. It wasn't easy, but I had to give Bespin Han the number 2 slot right behind the OG Han. He's got a great look. I mean, he's just an awesome figure. Like I said, it was a very difficult decision to make. But Bespin Han ranks number 2 out of 5 for me. 1985 was the year that Kenner finally shut down the Star Wars toy line due to declining sales from lack of interest in the brand. But before they did, Kenner released a Han Solo and Carbonite chamber action figure. This was the version that came out in the Power of the Force line that came packaged with a collector coin. I recently did a video on the collector coin, so I'll leave a link in the description below. His appearance doesn't look all that great to me though. His shirt is dirty, which is understandable since he did just thaw out and hit the floor in Jabba's palace. But his pants are off color and there's no colored stripes. Yeah, I don't know. He just looks off to me. The clothes, the pants, just the colors that they chose. I don't know. The figure looks off. 1984. Definitely a last 17 figure. Yeah, I don't know. Just his proportions. I mean, look at his chest. Look at his neck. He looks like he's been working out. I don't know how that's possible when he's been frozen. But, I mean, he looks like a meathead. He does not look like Harrison Ford. Not the best Han Solo figure, in my opinion. Kenner packaged this Han Solo with a plastic carbonite slab. Very see-through, lightweight. It is to scale. It's a lot larger than the one that was packaged in the Slave One toy. So that's definitely an upgrade. It is molded to fit the Han Solo figure. So should you want to actually stick him into the plastic slab, you can. He kind of slots right in there. So you get the full carbonite effect if you need to see him through the plastic carbonite. It's kind of cool. I think the figure overall gets some kind of points for that. I think that's a cool feature. He doesn't come equipped with a weapon, though. He could have come with a palace blaster or a staff from when he was battling the guards on the skiff outside the Sarlacc pit. It's just an idea. He's the first Han Solo to not come with a weapon. I do understand the reasoning, though, because, he's frozen in carbonite, but still, an extra weapon would have been kind of cool. Sorry, Han, old buddy, but I have to rank you at the bottom in 5th place. Last but certainly not least is the Han Solo in trench coat from Return of the Jedi released in 1984. Kenner had to wait a whole year to release the figure since that would have potentially ruined any hype or suspense that may have been building up for audiences prior to seeing Han's fate in Return of the Jedi in 1983. The wait for this figure was worth it, I think. If you watch my other ranking videos, you know I'm a huge fan of cloth soft goods, which Han has. The coat is thicker fabric, it's camouflaged. One of the versions, the lapels are actually blank. And on the other version of Han, the lapels have camouflage running down it like normal. The best part about the Han in trench coat action figure is the trench coat is actually removable, so therefore you can actually get 2 different looks out of the same figure, which I think is pretty sweet. Han in trench coat has 2 different facial variations. One is a softer, cartoony kind of look. The other is more serious, very stern, more like Harrison. The figures could be packaged with either face, with either jacket. So it's just a mixed match. Endor Han comes packing his trusty DL-44 Rebel Blaster once again. And it comes in a black plastic this time. It's actually the only Han figure to get a black blaster. I really like this Han figure a lot. I think his face and his body are proportionate. I like his soft goods coat. I think it's awesome. Kenner once again is flexing their creative muscles by giving a figure cloth goods. It's very cool. Han's got a good likeness. He's got the right blaster. He's got a removable coat. I have to rank him 3 out of the 5 Han Solo action figures. Well, guys, that's how I rank my Han Solo. How do you rank your Han? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys liked the video, give that like button a thumbs up because it does help out the channel. And if you've not done so, please blast that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. And remember, collect or collect not, there is no try.